So my buddy Jacob over at Into the Woods Custom Lure Works threw down the gauntlet and challenged all of us bait makers out there to do our interpretation of Electric Shad. One of the most fish catching colors, well, that I've ever come across. I mean, they've worked for me. And the challenge, though, is not to do an actual color match, although as much as I want to, but to do our interpretation, like I said. So today we are going to see if we can mimic the famous Electric Shad using nothing but 8-bit baits, flakes, and powders. And it's great timing for this challenge as well because my favorite swim bait just grew 1 inch bigger because we all know size absolutely matters. Hey bait chuckers, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the brand new bait shop. We are still getting set up with different camera angles and everything, so please excuse the mess while we are still under construction. We will have a video tour of the brand new shop for you coming up real soon. But in today's video, I want to talk about a bait mold that kind of released under the radar, you know, from all the hype from the Epic Bait Makers meetup and then the Epic internal system launch, the trip to ICAST. But a few months ago, back at the beginning of June, my favorite swim bait, the Slick Swim, got a big brother. That's right, 5-inch Epic Slick Swim is now actually a thing. I'm super stoked. I've been asking for a 5-inch, even a 6-inch in the Slick Swim for quite some time, and Jason finally added the 5-inch to the lineup. Super stoked, and you can see reversible hook slots. So all we have to do is come in here, flip over some of our hook slots, and just like that, we can have hooked baits, solid body baits, you name it. The choice is yours. So many different ways to rig it up. So I figured, well, why not pair my favorite bait with one of my favorite colors, Electric Shad? So because Jacob threw down the gauntlet, we are not going to take a look at those baits for the rest of the video, and we're going to go purely off of memory and see if we can't make an Electric Shad using a bunch of 8-bit baits, powders, and flakes. I am going to cheat and make one exception though, the Lureworks Black .015. This is an absolute requirement for an Electric Shad, and well, because 8-bit doesn't make any black flake, we're calling in an exception. I don't know what we're calling it. We're putting black in the bait. That's all that really matters. Now, I guess before we get started, we should really take a good look at the Electric Shad first. I mean, Jacob's video, which I'll put a link to in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, Jacob pretty much tells you exactly how to make Yamamoto's Electric Shad. He goes with the clear belly with the snow shine, and that's great because Yamamoto goes with a clearer belly. But if you want to go the Keitech route, you kind of need to add a drop of white in the belly to that recipe to really kind of flush out the color. I mean, you can not use any white at all, but there's so much salt inside of the Keitech bait that it kind of gives that off-white appearance that's really only mimicked by adding more salt in, or you can just do a drop of white and get there as well. So the only thing I would change to Jacob's recipe is adding in that 1/16 of the 0.15 black on the top half of the bait. But we're going to use that as a basis to get started, and we'll take it from there. All right, here we are with one fresh cup of plastisol, ready to rock and roll. Now we are going to start off with the green pumpkin gray base. Again, Jacob and I share a lot of recipes. We both love Electric Shad. It works on the Delta, so he turned me on to this a while back. This is now what I use for my base as well. So 60 drops green pumpkin gray. All right, we'll get that all stirred in there. Look at that. Awesome green pumpkin gray base. You can see a lot of that greens and grays and some browns kind of come through there. Just an awesome dark base. All right, very cool. Now we are going to darken it up even more by including the black 0.015 hex, and we're going to go a full 1/16 of a teaspoon There's a hefty amount of black flake in this, and the 0.15 does go a long ways. So 1/16 I find tends to be enough. That gives us enough dispersion through the color. Yeah, and that looks just to be about the texture that we see on most electric shads. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Rather than mess with sparkle flake that's gonna not be heat tolerant or heat sensitive, we're going right for the crushed rupees, the purple CR004, and these are very tolerant to heat, but they are smaller than the sparkle flake you would normally find. So we are going to go with 2/16 teaspoons heaping. I don't want to go straight to 1/4 yet. Let's just take a look and see how that does. A little rupees goes a long ways. So let's get that stirred in. Let's see what we look like. Look at that, huh? We have definitely got that electric shad effect coming through. Awesome stuff. I think I'm going to go one more. I don't think we need to go to a full 1/4, but I definitely think 3/16 of a teaspoon will do the trick. Yeah, look at that. That's going to give us a strong electric shad look. That's what we're going for. Awesome. And there is our back. We're just going to leave it just like that. All right. We have got our belly color plastisol heated up, super hot, ready to go. For the belly color, for our base, we are going to use Snow Shine. This is the best replicator that we have found so far to mimic salt in clear bait. So no specific drop count. We usually do like 2 swirls or so. So we just do like 1, 2, maybe 3, 3.5. Like I said, it's not very scientific, but a couple squirts. You don't need much of the Snow Shine in there because it can start to take over. And now do you see how it added that little bit of silverness, that haze in there? It fogs it up, gives it a little bit of a silver sheen. That's exactly what we want. And so, similar to the top, we're going to go in with the crushed rupees. And since we did 3/16 of a teaspoon in the top, we are also going to do 3/16 of a teaspoon here in the bottom. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Nice big heaping 1/16 teaspoon. All right, let's get this all stirred in. And believe it or not, this is actually it for the belly color in the electric shad as well. Now you can see the purple rupees in there. Now we're not going to put a drop of black or anything because the dark top of the electric shad is going to act as the backer. Now I could add a little bit of the 0.15 black in the belly, but I like to have a relatively clear belly, and trust me, that darker top is really going to make the rupees pop. And we'll see if we can't spice this up a little bit maybe in the second round. But for right now, we're going to try and mimic the original electric shad, and I think we have our colors right here. So let's get these vacuumed and ready to go. All right, we are looking 320s right there. And we are looking slightly hotter, but 320s right there. I think we are ready to inject. Remember, boys and girls, don't forget to glove up. All right, here we go. Electric shad using only 8-bit baits and the 5-inch slick swim. I don't think we'll need the full pool. but you never know. Second one, doing good. All right, awesome stuff. Make sure to top everything off. Now here's what it looks like on the injector. Very Electric Shad like. Can't wait to see what it looks like demolded. Oh, I love it. 5-inch slick swim. Are you kidding me? Can't wait. Yeah, there's a look at that brown puck there. Looking pretty good with those crushed rubies in there, giving off that violet vibe, that deep violet vibe. Looking good. Looking good. All right, here we are. 5-inch slick swim in the Electric Shad colorway. Now, first, to be fair, we should probably take a look at the Electric Shad just so we get a good idea of what an Electric Shad looks like. So again, we kind of have that greenish, grayish, brownish top. You can see the violet sparkle flake in there, and it does have a clear, translucent belly, but you definitely see a ton of the violet sparkle flake. Same thing with the Keitech here. Very similar, that dark brownish, greenish gray top and all of that violet sparkle flake. I'm not pulling these out because they stink of squid scent. You all know what those Keitechs smell like, but there you go. There's the original Electric Shad. So now let's see how our 8-bit bait version using the crushed rupees stacks up. None of them want to come out on the same side, and that's totally fine. That's okay. But take a look at that. Oh yeah. Hard to see with that glare. Let's get the aluminum molds out of the way. And there we go. Now we definitely have the effect going on, but it's much more subtle. You know, we kind of got to get a little bit closer because the rupees are they're smaller than the 0.15 sparkle flake that's in the majority of the Electric Shad baits. But take a look at that. You definitely see it there when the angle of the lighting is correct and it's not glaring. All of them look fantastic. They filled in fantastic. No issues, no denting. These are poured in medium plastisol, so you can see very floppy. We're going to get a ton of action on those tails. I poured them with the hook slot. Oh, goodness gracious. They look so good. You know, the camera has such a hard time showing off the effect of the rupees. All right, now, how does it compare, though? Let's throw this in the middle. Well, I think the belly and the back are definitely on point, okay? This isn't a color match. It's a, inspirational challenge. So I think one-on-one, I think we did a good job with the belly. I think the Snowshine does a great job of imitating the salt there. The back color is pretty spot on as well. I think about the only challenge is because the grains, the actual particles, are smaller. When we get these up close, though, one-on-one, you can definitely see that the larger particle size of the 0.15 glitter definitely outperforms the tiny granulars of the crushed rubies. So the 0.15 sparkle flake is giving off more reflectivity than the crushed rupees. You can definitely see them in there for sure, but it's so tiny in this angle that they're just not showing off as well. So I have an idea on how to fix that. Very similar to the crushed rupees, we have Ursula siren scales. These also give off an awesome purple. I'm also noticing, though, that the sparkle violet flake has a lot of blue in it. You can see it almost looks blue on camera there compared to our purple of the purple rupees. There's definitely some blue violet. So I think a little bit of some sonic hollow shift powder We'll fix that right up. That should give us some of the blue that we're looking for. So I think a little bit of sonic, a little bit of siren scales, and that should do the trick. All right, here we go, round 2. All right, so we are back and we have more 8-Bit Baits products to work through. But first, I want to add some more crushed rupees. I think we're just going to add that last 1/16 to each cup to make it a full 1/4 per cup, the same as it would be as if you were using that violet sparkle flake. I definitely think we need more of that in there to get some of that purple going. Now we do want to add some of the blue effect, and this is where the sonic is going to come into play. Now we don't need a lot, just a little bit, because sonic is definitely one where a little bit of that blue goes a long way. So we're going to come in here. I don't know if you can see what we're working with, and I'm just going to get like just a dash. We're going to drop that in. Okay, and then just a dash here. Alright, just like that in the belly as well. And let's mix that in. Alright, see where this takes us. Okay, I definitely like some of that blue showing up now on the belly. You can see it on the stir stick there. Liking that a lot more. There we go. You can definitely see a lot of that blue coming out now. I think we may add just a little bit more, honestly, to the top. I think we can get away with it. Gotta be careful because we don't want to turn it into a blue bait. We definitely want some of those blue tones in there, but we want it to be a purple bait. But look at that. That definitely brings out that highlight effect a lot more with that bluish violet crushed rupees. Awesome. Now to set it off in typical 8-Bit Bait fashion, let's add some siren scales, the Ursula siren scales, and these have a purple sheen to them. If the camera can focus on it, there we go. There's a purplish, bluish sheen to these as well. And so we won't be shy with these. We'll do a heaping 16th on each side. There we go. And this should make the bait completely come alive. Look at that. Now you kind of have some of that purple leaning into pink a little bit there, but I think it looks good. Siren scales have an amazing effect in the sunlight. It's going to give us that extra sparkle. I think these are going to look fantastic. Let's get them stirred into the bottom. And there we go. There they are, stirred into the bottom as well. Looking absolutely beautiful. This plastic is setting up on us, so we are going to go ahead and heat this up, warm it up, and get another round of injections going. Here we go. Round 2 of the Electric Shad 8-Bit Bait style. Alright, we have got both our colors up to temperature. We are ready to rock and roll. We got the blending block ready. Hopefully it won't seize up on us. Alright, let's go. We'll do a full pull because you never know. I don't think we need that much. Nice and easy. Uh-oh. That one cooled real fast. We pulled the whole gate right out of that one. Hopefully this last one here turned out. We kind of sucked the gate out. Oh well, that happens. That's the problem when you're using cold molds. You should always preheat your molds, preheat your block. Alright, here we go. 5-inch slick swim, round 2, with all the extra goodies that we put in there from 8-Bit Baits. Let's see if any of these powders can help simulate something close to the Electric Shad. Ooh, look at that. I can already tell from looking at it right now, this far away, you definitely get some more reflectivity. Yep, adding that little bit of hollow shift. Some of those siren scales certainly helped. Ooh, I do enjoy the look of that. Let's get these out of here. Oh yeah, look at that. Much more recognizable. I mean, holding it up here to the original, I would say much more recognizable for sure. Oh yeah. You can see that Sonic added that layer of blue in there. You get some cool color shift with the siren scales in the back. See that there? A little bit of extra flash. And that stuff carries all the way through to the tail. Look at that laminate all the way through. Look at that laminate. Bam! Oh yeah, as that's flashing through the water just like that, kicking, rocking back and forth. Oh yeah, those are awesome. Let's throw the original Seiko right there in the middle. How'd we do? What do you think? I mean, it's not an exact match, but that's not what Jacob asked us to do. I think that is pretty darn close, using only 8-bit powders. Well, I guess technically we used some snow shine in the belly and some black. But in replacement of the sparkle violet flake, here's a way you could do it, much more expensive with 8-bit baits. But if you don't mind dealing with the temperature issues, go ahead and get yourself some sparkle violet flake. Amazing stuff, by the way. I'm not knocking sparkle flake by any means. I use it all the time in my baits. But yeah, there you go. My take on Electric Shad using 8-bit baits. I mean, this has some special flash to it for sure. I know the 8-bit bait stuff shines underwater, so I'm just going to have to go ahead and fish these. So you know what that means? Let's get some close-up goodness of all of these baits, and I will meet you all out on the water. Alright, so I'm joined today in the fishing portion of today's video by Mike here from Sack Pig Bait Co. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description down below. You can check him out. Known for his famous topwater rat baits. Amazing baits. He's out here fishing all the time at the brink of dawn, so he's going to take me around, show me some good spots, and we're going to see if we can't put the 5-inch slick swim to work. So bait chuckers, what do you think? Be honest with me now. The original Electric Shad, does the all 8-bit version come close? Let me know in the comment section down below. I mean, you know, is it an exact match? No, but that wasn't the goal. Is it close? Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Will it fish? The most important question. Absolutely 100%. I can't wait to throw these on my lakes here. I was actually out a little earlier today. You might see I got a little bit of sun. Had a little bit of time in between meetings, but couldn't get a ton of fishing in because heading out on a trip tomorrow. Wanted to get this video out for all of you. But if you would like to see my version of an exact color match of the original Electric Shad in either Yamamoto or Keitech variety, let me know down in the comments below. Or in fact, maybe just, you know, hit the thumbs up video. In fact, if we can get, let's go for 300 likes in this video, then we'll go ahead and we'll just add that right into the video rotation. And I mean, super big shout out to Epic Bait Molds. Jason always coming up with the killer molds. 5-inch slick swim. You all already know the slick swim is by far and away my highest confidence bait. Super excited to finally get it in a 5-inch version. Now we're starting to get into some full-size swim baits. I'm super excited for what the future holds. Until next time, y'all, I think it's a good place to wrap and cap this video. So until next time, you know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around these Delta sloughs, reminding you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.